Good evening, everyone. Just today, my name is Irma J. I'm here to give you a word on today, and we're gonna talk about Jesus forgive and heal a paralyzed man. Now, this man, he gonna hear that Jesus in town. Jesus in the, and they have a lot of crowd. Everywhere Jesus went, they had a crowd. They had the crowd so much that he couldn't even get through the crowd, but he made a way to Jesus. Mark chapter 2, verse 1 through 12. Now, a few days later, when Jesus had getting into chapel, some people had heard that he had come home. So Jesus had entered into a ship and came into our own city of people heard. Now, Jesus Jesus was had fed like 5,000 people, and so then he was heading back home. So they gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door, and he preached the word to them. Now see, when Jesus come in town, he preached that word. They have so much crowd. When he enter a city, they have so much crowd waiting to hear him preach. And so they had so much crowd, so someone couldn't even get out their own door. So Jesus was among a huge crowd when he heard him preaching. Now some of the men came bringing to him a paralyzed man carried by four men. So this paralyzed man wanted to see Jesus, but he couldn't walk or none of that. But he made a way to Jesus. So paralyzed man had needed to move his friends to action. So he had four friends, and they made sure he was going to see Jesus. Now since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof. So that means they were determined. They were determined to see Jesus. He know he needed healing. And he know Jesus is the only one that can heal him. He wants to get out that wheelchair. So they made a hole in the roof, and so since the crowd could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it, and then lowered the mat. The man was lying on. So he on the mat. And it rolled him down to Jesus. So the crowd made it impossible to bring the paralyzed man down to Jesus. But he opened the roof above him, and these four men was determined to have their friend to see Jesus. Because see, when Jesus come in town, just like that lady was bleeding for 12 years, nobody could help her. But when she heard that Jesus was coming in town, she made sure she got through the crowd. That was another crowd. Get through the crowd. She said, only if I can touch his clothes, I'll be healed. And she was here. And this paralyzed man the same way. I got to see Jesus. Jesus got to heal me. I've been stuck in this wheelchair. I need to get out this wheelchair. So the crowd made it impossible. But he made sure, they made a hole in that roof. So Jesus saw that they had faith. Jesus worked on faith. He said to the paralyzed man, son, your sins are forgiven. See, Jesus know everything about you. You ain't got to tell him, oh, okay, I had sinned, Jesus, and I was trying to get down here to you. No, Jesus know everything about you. And so Jesus said your sin is forgiven. So not only that Jesus gonna heal him, this paralyzed man, but Jesus also forgive him of his sin. So Jesus act, but intend on physical healing, along with Jesus proclaiming his remission of sin. So now some of the teachers of the law was sitting there, thinking to themselves. Now somebody's sitting there, and they see this man trying to get to Jesus. But you think somebody gonna help him? So why this paralyzed man struggling, trying to get to Jesus? The teachers of law was in position. sitting where they could observe the man. They were observing the man. They saw the man struggling, trying to get him down the root. So why does the fellow, talk like that? He blames him as who can forgive sin, but God alone. That they were sitting there, saying to, they were saying that he have the authority to, no, they're mumbling against themselves. Since Jesus had forgive him for sin. So they're like, who is him? Who give him authority? So for forgive sin. But this man here, Jesus, he came on this earth to save us from sin. So he have the authority to save sin. So God alone. So they blasphemed him because he had healed and forgive sin. So immediately Jesus had knew in his spirit that this was what they was thinking in their heart. And he said to them, why are you thinking these things? They don't know who Jesus is. Jesus knew what they was thinking about in their heart, but that he need remission of sin. Which is easy. To say this paralyzed man, your sin are forgiven, or to say, get up and take your mat and walk. So he had two things. He forgave the man for his sin, and he also going to make the man walk. Now his sin was forgiven. Jesus said, get up and walk. So they blasphemed Jesus according to the law. The punishment for this sin was death. Now he was healed because of his strong faith. Now Jesus said because of whatever he did, it was because of you're supposed to be in death. But Jesus said by his faith. Now he was determined to get down to Jesus. Well, they put a hole in the roof, to come down to Jesus. That was faith. He was determined to see Jesus to be healed. He didn't know Jesus was going to seek his heart and forgive him of his sin. He didn't know Jesus was going to bring that up. So, but I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on this earth to forgive sin. So he said to the man, get up and walk. Jesus have the authority, to forgive sin. And so the mark referred to Jesus as the Son of Man, emphasized as God. Son of Jesus had the authority to forgive sin. He the Son, he God's Son, and he also down here to forgive, to save us from sin. So he have the authority to forgive sin. So I tell you, get up. Jesus said, now get up. I forgive you your sin. I need you to get up out that wheelchair. Get up and take your mat and go home. So Jesus said, get up. You can get up, take your mat, and you can walk home. Now Jesus healed this man and told him to go home. Your sin been forgiven, and now you can walk. So you can take your mat and you can walk home. So he got up and took his mat and walked out in full view of them all. Now this is amazing, everyone. And they praised God, saying, we have never seen anything like this before. And so they must have been around Jesus his whole journey, because that's all he do is healing. Forgive sin. They said they never saw nothing like this here before. And so Mark called attention to the response of Jesus' rebirth. The observed have never seen anything like this before. They all glorify God. They all glorify God. They said they ain't never seen nothing like this here before. Not only he healed this man, but Jesus has seek his heart and forgive from his sin. Now the man probably had no idea that Jesus was going to forgive him of his sin. He probably didn't thought Jesus was going to bring it up. But Jesus can search your heart and know your whole life story like he did that Samaritan woman. He just searched her heart and knew that she had 5 husbands. And so Jesus had told her, I forgive your sin. Now you can just get up and walk. Take your mat and you can walk home. Now Jesus had did 2 miracles. He forgave his sin, and Jesus also allowed him to get up out that mat, and you just walk home. So that's all. So that's all the story. That was amazing. They had never seen nothing like this yet before. They had never seen nothing like this here before that Jesus had made, had them. They were like, who is him to have authority to forgive sin? Yes, he the Father's Son. He have the authority to forgive sin. He have the authority to heal. And he only heal through your faith. They had faith to bring that man down from the roof. And here, he was determined to see Jesus. And Jesus said, since they had that kind of faith to try to be determined to get down here to see me, I'm healing him. I'm forgiving his sin. I'm making him walk. He can just take that mat, just get up and walk home. So that's all I have for you today. I'll see y'all on the next video.